But the big news really is the expansion of premium processing. Just to give you some background, premium processing from I-907 was an extra fee you could pay to USCIS for them to adjudicate the case faster. Historically, it was like 14 regular days or 15 regular days, and it was good, but didn't apply to everything. It was just for certain types of business cases. About 2 years ago, they passed a law that says we're going to expand this and cover almost everything, all the major stuff. Employment-based primarily, but also work permits and a change of status. However, nothing happened, and so we're waiting and waiting. Nothing's happened. They didn't increase the fee accordingly. The fee that was going to increase to provide extra service. They've been getting the money, but they haven't been providing the service, unfortunately. So Biden administration finally is pushing this forward. We're going to get exact measures of how this is going to work out, but some of the details are here. So Anya, what kind of stuff is being added to the mix with this new premium processing? And
Yeah,
this
so
announcement of just even outside of premium processing, frankly, I've made a mistake. Is like the bigger goal of making things faster.
yes, so the main thing is that USA is expanding like premium processing option to other different kinds of applications that were not covered by the previously. So
Yeah.
it used to be that only work visas, for example, forms I-129, right, and some categories under I-140, which is like work green card, right? They were able to ask for like premium process and pay like extra $2,500 extra and get their case adjudicated like within I think it's 15 days. Right. Yeah. So now what the USCIS wants to do, they expanded it to form I-765, which is work authorization. And it's beautiful because, I mean, on the one hand, it's good. On the other hand, it's not very good. And I'll explain why. So, uh, so you will be able to apply for work authorization and get this work authorization really, really fast. Again, within like 15 calendar days, maybe 30. Once we see how they're gonna implement it, because it's has not been implemented yet. So at this time, we cannot still file these forms, this new like I-765s and other forms that were just like premium processing and was extended to. We cannot file them at this moment because they say we're gonna do it. But again, if you go to USCIS website, there is no option, even in premium processing form, which is I-907,
Yeah.
right? There's not this option there yet. So we're still waiting on that. And the bad part of it is that, I mean, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, unfortunately, will not be able to afford it. And my question is, would it make timelines longer for other people who don't use this premium processing option? Because it should not,
Yeah.
And again, we will see how it's going to work in practice. I think USA has noted that it should not affect, but again, we need to see how it's gonna work out. Yeah, right. So the first thing is 765 work authorization will be qualifies for premium processing. Then they say also EB1 for under multinational executive manager, which is EB1C category. They will be able to ask for premium processing, and also EB2 national interest waivers.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is a big deal. And a couple things that generally you can always file under general rules, right, without the premium processing. But then if you decide to, you can always submit this extra request and ask for premium processing later in the process. So, and it's going to be available for all these types of applications. So for example, again, we're going to wait how much time it's going to take them, because they say by the end of the fiscal year 2022. So fiscal year ends September 30th of 2022. So it's here. It's almost here.
Yeah.
But again,
hopefully they stick to it. That's the thing. Now they did provide an interesting chart I'll share on the screen right now for USCIS. And these are what their new cycle times is, what they're doing. Because so typically a lot of us who are watching too, you go to USCIS.gov, you check the estimated processing times, and they're very all over the place. They're going to try to stick to this cycle. Hopefully they will for adjudication. So most forms will be 6 months, but a lot of these, like the I-130, are taking anywhere from 3 to 4 months to 10 to 11 months. I even have one for a media relative that's taken 15 months so far. It's pretty ridiculous. But note that for the I-130, which is the family-based petition, it specifies immediate relatives. So that's different from if you're a green card holder filing for a spouse or adult child or brother or sister kind of a US citizen. They do differentiate this timeline for that. But hey, 6 months, I'm happy with that. In the 3-month category, they included I-765. Now, if you note, they distinguish between premium and non-premium processing cases in the expected timelines. They didn't put premium after I-765 or include it in the premium category. So that doesn't make sense. They said the I-539 change of status, extension of status is going to have premium processing. They haven't listed it here. So that doesn't make as much sense. So it's like they need to update this chart. It's not the best breakdown what it is. But if we're getting these kind of timelines compared to what we've seen in the last 5 or 6 years, this is a godsend to get people up and running, get their lives in order. So generally, you view that as good news and just pray for the best.
Yeah, and thank you for reminding me, because one more form that would qualify for premium processing is I-539, change or extension of non-immigrant status. For example, if you're here in the United States under the tourist visa and you decided to go to school, right? Like now we see timelines can easily reach like 1 year for these applications to get adjudicated. And now, again, you will have this opportunity to pay more extra money, right, and get the decision faster.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as I said, it's good and bad at the same time. Yeah,
because like with the student visa example, we have cases like this where someone's here on some other kind of work visa as a family member or a tourist visa. They get enrolled in a top school, for example, and they might want to start at the beginning of the semester, but the student visa doesn't get approved, and they have to wait for like the next semester or the next year to start, and all of a sudden their whole academic and whole life gets postponed for a whole year just because this quick adjudication can't happen. So although it is a lot of fee, if this is what you got to pay for getting people's lives up running, it's what we got to do, because it's so disruptive. These change of status cases that are taking too long, the work permit cases where people have a job, the work permit expires, and they can't get it renewed, so all of a sudden they lose their job. Not only do they lose their job, lose funding for their families, but the employer needs this person and they're left empty-handed and they can't find someone else, and that's disruptive for their business. So the bureaucratic slowdown has been disastrous on all ends. So hopefully, they're going to really try to fix it, and hopefully whoever the next administration is continues this push and doesn't go in opposite direction.
Yeah, as a side note, I was reading this article on UK immigration. Again, we're immigration lawyers here in the United States, so we don't know anything about UK immigration. I was just reading this article, and they were saying that like something like immediate relative petition, what you would call it here in the United States, it takes like 4 months in the UK, and without even premium processing. You know, so that's how I think that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Generally.
Honestly, in my dreams, like if immediate relatives or spouses of U.S. citizens, parents, and minor children, I think like they should just be like a 2-day thing. If you're a spouse of a citizen or especially a child, which is easier to prove, you don't want families to be separated. This should be a really quick thing, almost like a tourist visa for them to come here. And we have the K3, that should be expedited, the K3, which is for them to come here and finish processing in the United States. That should be like a 1 or 2 week thing. They give priority for people to bring their spouses here. It's really disruptive to people's family lives and doesn't make any sense to me. But getting these wheels of bureaucracy move faster is a slow thing. And when you said 4 months, I thought you were gonna say, I haven't read that article. I thought you were gonna say like 2 weeks or a month. I was so excited. But thinking about it, like if I was separated from my spouse or kids for 4 months, that's super disruptive. But we see with our clients, we have people stuck 2 years right now that haven't seen their loved ones. So it is good relative to that for sure. But just in life and people, I'm getting older. I see my kids get older. 4 months, 1 year, this is a lot of time. A lot could happen. Look at the situation in Ukraine. We have families there pending I-130s, and all of a sudden war happens. They're stuck there. And so that's horrible. You've been able to get expedites for some of these I-130s, but it should have been done already. They should have been here already to avoid this. So 1 year, 6 months, these every day counts and these kind of things. So I'm glad the administration is finally paying attention to this and it can be a focus, because these are real people that are going through this.
Yeah, I mean, again, we see very positive changes recently. So I hope it's going to continue like that, and the processing times will be getting shorter and shorter. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for watching this educational program. To get the latest videos, click the subscribe button and the notification bell icon. Also, help us help the immigrant community by liking this video and sharing it with your family and friends. You can also find us on other social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter, where you find the latest updates on immigration news, policy changes, and tips. Be safe and God bless. See you soon.